The story begins with the appearance of a Japanese mafia boss named Gorita. Then Gorita was called by a mysterious person who threatened him. Then he saw all his men dead. But suddenly there was a man who strangled his neck with a wire, which the man was a hitman named Kim in Nam. Kim is actually a former secret agent who has a high level of killing ability and has been trained in such a way as to become a perfect killing machine. But because the government considers that the program or training will create a killing machine figure. Therefore now, Kim has been removed from the state intelligence agency and he is still secretly employed by several related parties who still need his services. In fact, the murder that happened just now was the last job done by Kim. While at the restaurant, Kim saw a painting of a beach located in the Panama area and Kim intended to live there. Jump to Bangkok, Thailand, shown a mother with her daughter, who is Kim's former lover and biological daughter. But since being expelled from the National Intelligence Agency, Kim has never met either of them. Kim never knew that he had a little daughter from the woman he slept with. This woman is named Seo Youngju. Then when her daughter came home from school, she was kidnapped by a Korean woman living in Thailand. Seo Young also tried to contact Kim through her former boss, but Kim thinks that it's in the past. Kim also left a message not to contact him again and said that he was dead. Then Seo Young reported this incident to the Thai police. But because there have been so many kidnapping cases, they can only distribute missing person posters without being able to solve a single case. Not long after, Seo Young gets a call from a man who claims to have found her daughter. On the other hand, Kim himself received news that Seo Young had died. After that, Kim went to Seo Young's corpse, which had arrived in Korea. There he saw that there were incision scars and missing internal organs. Kim was very sad because he ignored Seo Young when she tried to contact him some time ago. Then Kim asked for Seo Young's belongings to take with him. Unintentionally, Kim saw some pictures of his ex-girlfriend with a little girl that Kim didn't realize who it was. Then Kim went to his former boss and asked who the little girl in the photo was. What a surprise when Kim found out that the little girl in the photo was her own biological daughter. Coinciding with this incident, Kim also got a new problem, when the previous person told Kim to commit murder. Calling that there is someone who is killing them, he is named Ray. Ray is the younger brother of Gorita, or the mafia boss who Kim previously killed. So Ray decided to take revenge by killing everyone involved with his brother's death. Ray is a very dangerous figure, where he often skinned his victim's body and let him bleed to death. Then Kim's partner was seen leaving, but suddenly his car was hit by Ray. Then Ray interrogated him brutally, so that he was forced to open his mouth about the name and the person who had killed Gorita, that is Kim. Back to Kim, here he asks for files on the lives of his lover and biological child in Bangkok. At that moment, Kim decided to go there and was determined to find his missing child. But without Kim realizing it, it turns out that Ray also could get the same information about Kim's past with his former boss, including his missing little daughter. Kim, who has arrived in Bangkok, there he meets a man who is a friend of his boss. Then the man shows who are the people who have a connection to his daughter's kidnapping case. With a clue given by his boss's friend, Kim investigates a man in a white shirt. The man was a real estate agent who had met his girlfriend during the kidnapping. Not long after that, Kim could catch the man in the car. There, Kim interrogated him and cut off one of his thumbs very sadistically. The man finally opened his mouth that he had been paid to distract Seo Young, so that the kidnapper could easily kidnap her child. Kim heard that his daughter was dead. Without thinking, he immediately cut the man's veins. On the other hand, Ray apparently moved faster by first knowing the kidnapper's face, but apparently he was framed by some Bangkok thugs. Elsewhere, it turned out that Kim had gotten to the kidnapper first, who was a Korean woman living in Bangkok. There, the woman said that his daughter was still alive and was now being held by human organ trafficking syndicates. Kim went back to his boss's friend to find out where the criminal syndicate was located. Then Kim was introduced to a man in the guise of a woman named Yui. Yui, who has lived in Bangkok for a long time and apparently has many acquaintances, including the criminal syndicate of human trafficking. Then Yu took Kim to go to the building where the kidnapped children were kept. Once there, Kim and Yui pretended to be in need of a Korean child with the characteristics already mentioned. Then one of the guards there said that they had a Korean girl recently, but it had already been booked by someone else. When asked to wait, Kim was impatient. When the guards arrived, Kim skillfully killed them all very quickly. After being threatened, the female guard finally opened her mouth that Kim's daughter had been taken somewhere for heart removal surgery. And when they want to leave, Ray suddenly appeared at the end of the hall. Elsewhere, Yu himself was arrested by the police because he was caught carrying a small child. Here, Yu must also languish in a prison filled with prisoners who are thirsty for women. Luckily, Yu was able to get out because there was no evidence against him. Meanwhile, Kim himself is looking for the location where his daughter was taken. On the other hand, Ray himself was seen entering a gun shop. He didn't care about hitting the shopkeeper. Then Ray told him to call the thugs who controlled the area. Back to Kim, who has arrived at the building where his daughter is locked up. It seems that Kim's daughter will be taken away somewhere. Without thinking, Kim chased after them. However, on the way, Ray again appeared using a tuk-tuk and immediately brutally attacked Kim. Kim turned around, but he was blocked by the police who would arrest him for murder in the building yesterday. Luckily, Ray arrived. Unintentionally has helped Kim to immediately go to save his daughter. But with the few grenades he brought, Ray could destroy the police force. Back to Kim. When he arrived at the location, Kim quickly shot the surgeons. Kim decided to stay in a hotel for the time being. The noise and commotion made apparently provoked the anger of the crime syndicate boss, where while they were discussing, Ray appeared who forced his way in with a grenade in his body. He offers cooperation in order to arrest one man, that's Kim. Ray, who was assisted by the criminals, could get a friend of his boss friend, where he was severely tortured until he finally opened his mouth about the hotel where Kim was staying. Back to Kim. He looks sad to see the condition of psychological trauma experienced by his daughter. Then, Kim called a doctor to examine his daughter. Here, Kim asked the doctor for help to look after his daughter until he came back, as he was going out for a while to find someone. Then, Kim sat beside his little daughter, and he hugged her while crying. Next, Kim went out for a while to meet someone who could take his daughter away from Bangkok. When Kim returned to the hotel, there was already an army of criminals who were the criminal boss's men. Arriving at the room, Kim was shocked to see the doctor dead, and there was already Ray working with the criminals. But when the criminals want to take Kim to be handed over to their boss, Ray shoots them all. Ray plans to make Kim suffer by killing his daughter right in front of Kim's eyes, so that it will be considered worthy of his brother's death. Feeling that this place wasn't safe, Ray told his men to take Kim to a predetermined place, while Ray himself will carry the suitcase containing Kim's daughter. Then Yu came and could release Kim. However, Kim's daughter was still in the car driven by Ray. As Kim tried to get his daughter out of the suitcase, Ray could stab Kim. But with one grenade activated and Kim dropped out, the car flipped over due to the explosion. When his daughter was rescued, Yu appeared, who immediately took Kim's daughter. There, Kim saw his daughter and Yui, who could leave. He also decided to sacrifice to save his daughter. When Ray was optimistic that he could avenge his brother, it turned out that Ray was wrong. That is because Kim was already holding one more grenade in his hand. At another time, Yu was seen receiving money from Kim in a locker, and he was given a will to take care of his daughter. Then Yui and the little princess went to Panama according to Kim's wishes. After that, the movie ended.